What up, YouTube? It's your boy Corleone, and I'm back in the hood with another video. And as y'all can tell by the title, um, yeah, man, today is a disappointing day, man. Today is a very disappointing day. I got confirmation today from Dayton Wire Wheels that they cannot make my wheels. Uh, I'm gonna give y'all like a little backstory on, you know, how these wheels came about. Um, so it was about maybe three and a half years ago. Um, I had a 1976 Cutlass Supreme 4-door, and I had a Cutlass back in like '06 that I had fixed up, and you know, I end up selling it back then, and I wanted another one. So I came across a pretty decent clean one that was being sold. It was at a state sale. It was being sold by the man who had passed his son. So anyway, I bought the car, and when I bought the car, I didn't thoroughly look over the car. Now, me normally when I buy cars, I like my cars to be, super clean. I would like for the body to be untouched. So I seen the car. I was super happy about the car, and I bought the car. I didn't think twice about it. I looked at the car a little bit, but I didn't go completely over the car. So when I did finally go over the car, um, I seen that one of the quarter panels had been replaced. So at that point, I kind of lost interest with the car. Um, I'm kind of like a picky person when it comes to cars, especially old school cars. So anyway, I sold the car, and um, but before I sold the car, like I said, I had went out to Dayton Wire Wheels, and I told them, I said I got this 1976 Cutlass, and I want to do a set of 24-inch wheels deep dish all the way around. So back then guys wasn't doing the staggered, Dayton's back then. They wasn't doing the regular Dayton in the front and the deep dish Dayton in the back. So, of course they told me, it wouldn't work, and this and that. And, you know, um, Gary that worked there, shout out to Gary. Shout out to Gary at Dayton Wire Wheels. He a real stand-up guy. Um, Young dude Blake there is also a stand-up guy. So shout out to them guys. But anyway, he had told me about this concept, and he was like, it'll be a deep dish wheel, but it won't be as deep as our deep dish wheels. So he explained to me the way the wheel will look. It'll be a deep dish wheel. The offset will be, 5 inches in the back, 6 inches in the front, and the spokes will come into the lip of the wheel. So it'll still give you that deep look, but not, where you wouldn't have to modify your frame or cut your frame or shorten your rear end, things like that. So when he told me, it sounded good. And I could picture it in my head, and nobody had ever done it before. So I would have been the first one with those wheels. So anyway, back to the Cutlass. I end up selling the car, and I always had that wheel in my mind, but I wanted to wait until I got the perfect car for it, or the car that I think would fit that setup. So fast forward to today. Uh, of course, I had bought the Cutlass, maybe 5 months ago or whatever. I had bought the Cutlass, and I circled back around to that wheel. Like I told y'all in my previous video, if you've been following me, I thought about a lot of different wheels that I could have put on that car. But I felt that it would only be right with me being born and raised in Dayton, Ohio, being from Dayton, Ohio. It would only be right for me to, put a set of Daytons on my car. So I go back to Dayton in November, talk it over with Gary again, and I make up my mind. This is what I want to do. I'm ready. So month go by. December the 3rd, I go out there and I put my money down. I put my money down, and he give me a finish date or a completion date for the wheels of March. So I make a video, tell the world, jump on my Facebook, tell the world, jump on my Instagram, tell the world. Now they had already made a set of wheels similar to this in 22. So, in my mind and in Gary's mind, the guy that actually works at Dayton, this wheel could be made. This wheel could be made. So, fast forward to yesterday. I get a call from Dayton from Gary, and he tell me, the guys out here, they want you to come out. They just stamped your burls, and they want to see, what's going on. Want you to see what's going on. So I could tell in his voice that it really didn't sound good. He wasn't excited about, this wheel that me and him both have been excited to bring to life. So, between December and now, they had designed the wheels, went through the whole complete design process. They had laid the spokes out, did a mock-up wheel, laid the spokes out to see how the spokes would lay, this and that. I'm talking about fully designed this wheel from scratch, did a mock-up of this wheel to see how the spokes would, sit on the rim and how the rim would look. And, everything was ready to go. It was ready to be executed. So yesterday, like I said, they finally, stamped my burls. So for those of you who don't know, when they stamped the burl, they put like these nipple dents in the burl. So each one of those nipple dents, once they press it into the burl, they drill it out, and then that's how they lace the spokes for the wheels. So I tell Gary, I said, I'll be out there in about an hour. So I go out there, and they showed me the rim, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh man, this thing fire. Like, the hood was nasty. The way the spokes set or would have set it was beautiful. The wheel would have been beautiful. So they're showing me the burl, and they're telling me, they're showing me, if you look in the nipple dents, the metal is so thin. Every time they stamp it for the dimples or the nipples, the metal is splitting. It's cracking, it's splitting. So he goes on to explain to me, this is the guy who does the burls. He goes on to explain to me certain parts of the wheel is thicker than others. So the higher step part of the burl was thicker than the actual part where they were stamping for my spokes. So he said, this right here is so thick. And then he said, this is, I forgot exactly what it was. It was 40 something thousandths thinner metal than, the other part of the wheel. So they explain this to me, and then he tell me, tomorrow we're going to have a meeting, and we're going to discuss it and see if it's, anything we can do or any workaround we can do to, make this work. So fast forward to today, they have their meeting, and, Gary calls me. I don't know how much longer after the meeting, but Gary calls me, and he tells me, we're not going to be able to make the wheels. They're scrapping the project. They're scrapping it. They don't want to make the wheels. They're scrapping the whole thing. Because I had asked him a couple questions like, well, could we do this? Could we do that? Just throwing out my little suggestions to see if it's anything or another route that we can take to actually make these wheels happen. And they just weren't having it, man. They just wasn't having it. He said the owner of Dayton War Wheels just wanted to scrap it and not make the wheels at all. So, there it is, man. It's disappointing. It sucks. You know, I'm pissed. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pissed. Um, you know, I already bought things for this car. Um, I've already bought, you know, tires, steering wheel, everything to bring, you know, this project to life. And, you know, for them to come up with this idea and tell me that these wheels can be made, and then, you know, I go in there and I put, you know, this money down, all this money down, and then I wait, you know, 3 months, and, you know, it's just over and done like that. You know, which I mean, it's really, I guess, it's no fault of their own. You know, now I'm not going to say what was said by management or the owners, you know, because I'm not going to bash them. But at the same time, I kind of think the situation could have been handled, you know. So today, you know, I went to Dayton and they gave me a check for, you know, all the money I put down, you know. And I look at the check, and the check say Dayton wire wheel in concept. And then I'm thinking like, well, the fuck is the concept part? If you can't build a concept wheel, you know, I mean, what's the concept part? You know, I don't understand it. But, you know, it is what it is. Business is business. You know, it's something that I guess they just couldn't do. You know, they couldn't do. So, you know, back to the drawing board, man. Back to square one. Like I said, it sucks. Um, but it is what it is. I just got to figure out a different route to go. And yeah, man. I mean, I could have got the wheel that I was trying to get made in 22, in a 22, which I might do. I don't know. I might do it. You know, I'm thinking about it. I might do it. Um, I tried to get y'all a picture of the barrel. I was gonna post a picture of the barrel, but when you go into Dayton Wire Wheels, I don't. If you ever been in the Dayton Wire Wheels, they don't like you to take pictures or record. So you know, they wasn't having it. I tried to snap a picture of the barrel, and you know, I couldn't get it. But man, that wheel would have been nasty. That wheel would have been nasty. Like, yeah, I would have turned the internet up with this one. I ain't gonna even lie. I would have broke the internet with this wheel. But like I said, they scrapped it. They said they'd never try to make the wheel, and you know, it is what it is. So I just wanted to jump on here, man, and give y'all an update. Uh, man, I was really looking forward to this, and I know y'all was too. Uh, yeah, man, I'm I'm salty. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm salty. Salty. But it is what it is. I'm gonna keep y'all posted, and you know, when I come up with something else, when I figure something else out or what route I'm gonna take, then I'm gonna keep y'all updated. But until then, I'm up out of here. Yeah.